Hey, what's up, y'all? What's happening? We decided we'd pop on here and do a show just about juicing in general. If you're going to be going out for your daily workout, your daily walk, whatever it might be, or if you're just getting over a cold like I am, it's important to get certain things into your system, garlic being one of them. And today's show is really about juicing the cannabis plant. Phytonutrients, very important. Very, very important. Understanding phytonutrients, understanding endocannabinoids, and how they don't get you high at that time. Can we share that around on the other phone? No. Let me see here. I got like one person on here. All right, without being able to share this around, I'm kind of lost in the dark. So I'm just going to go through with this and let people watch it later. I'll share it around after, I guess. Or if anybody wants to be so kind, please share this over to Facebook and any places accordingly. We will be pulling some cannabis out of the freezer that was just pulled off of a plant last night, actually. Just leaves and stuff, showing you what can be used and which buds we use when we're juicing, and how you can incorporate this into your general shake. Like right now, I'm working on garlic. I'm going to throw some garlic, some oranges, some apples, a little bit of ginger, and protein mix, vegan protein mix, which now that I look at it, it's going to be screwed up for this video anyway. So what can I tell you? I'm going to have to somehow get to that vegan mix, so it's going to get messy. Oh man. But I can show all the beginning stuff first, and that's all that matters. So we got our garlic done. Some of you are thinking, like, why didn't you have the stuff prepped out? I could have prepped it out and just popped it up there. I was hoping to get a few more people on, then have one and have some sort of dialogue or conversation. But without getting this shared over to Facebook or anybody being able to help me out with that, I don't know what else to say other than I apologize. But fucking incompetency is incompetency when it comes to fucking the share button. I should have set this up better. Is what I should have done. I apologize for that part. But that being said, I will try my best to calm the fuck down. You get jacked up and ready for your workout, it's always good to do it. Because again, you want to make sure you have your other stuff, which is your primary. Now, the thing about if you freeze your leaves, the way these have been frozen, if you're going to go ahead and freeze your leaves, and I don't even know if you guys can hear me. I don't even see a comment section. I don't see shit. I'm gonna kill this thing. Can somebody please make a comment, or am I just not seeing the comment section? Can we open this up on the other phone so we can look at it?
Stop and we'll show you this one.
All right, we'll be back, guys. I apologize, for fuck's sake. You're fucking kidding me. Now I fucking see this shit. Fuck. I'm clearly not in the mood here. Hey, Joanne, how you doing, dear? Don't mind me. I'm just getting frustrated with trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing, trying to set up a show so you guys can actually see it.
Back on?
I'm trying to just get this done here. Joanne, can you share this? Gary, Sean, can you share this over to Facebook, please? I haven't had a chance to do that. I'm trying to get these out in time to not fuck all this up. Oh, we're trying. Keep sharing around, guys. I'm slowly getting at this. But we will be juicing some raw cannabis and talking about it if I don't fucking allow it to de-thaw too fast. Never good if you do. At the same time, it's not always easy improvising with a phone when I'm not used to just having to use the damn phone. You can see my tent in the background, though. So, that's kind of where it all begins. Then it comes over. We need to get everything into play. I think what I'll do is on the plate. And like I said, if you decide to freeze your cannabis, and I'm hoping everybody can hear me. If you can't hear me, please say so, or post so I know. Now, there's a bunch of little buds in here as well that are just taken off the plant. You can see that they're very much fresh. It's fresh green. It's just like eating your kale or anything else. With the leaves, you want to go through and take all this off. You don't want to put stalk or anything else in there. You're going to end up with a bunch of fiber, and you're going to end up getting itchy and shit. Nobody wants to get itchy and shit. It sucks. And that's what happens. People end up eating all this fiber. Don't eat vegetative fucking shit. These are covered in trichomes. I've been showing my plants throughout the series, the 10th series. And now that we're at the end of it, this is when you start juicing. Like I juice every day. I have different things. Like today I'm putting in again oranges, apples, kale, ginger, and then of course cannabis. And when you take endocannabinoids this way, or in essence what's on the leaves right now is phytocannabinoids, you take them out of the freezer, you only got so long before they start to rot. So you really want to get them, you don't want to bang them around when they're frozen. I think that was my point with the bag when I was bringing it out of the freezer. Trichomes that are sitting on top of the leaves or on the little side leaves, these are all been picked off from the little tiny leaves right up to the big ones. And it's not your final trim, but it's definitely what you can use in any shake. So I'm just going to throw this into the blender. And this is probably the most important part to remember in putting your juicing together, is to cut off all of those. You can see this is nothing but plant material. So it's sort of like adding your kale. Then I've got 3 little cloves of ginger here, or garlic. 2 of them in. Finish off the last of that. 3 cloves of garlic. A little bit of ginger. You don't have to do much more than just throw some ginger in there. Take an apple, cut up an apple. It's all pretty much the same procedure. But again, going back to phytocannabinoids, if there's any questions or comments about cannabinoids, about how they work, the difference right now, and the only difference, is that I haven't allowed them to decarboxylate. So by not allowing them to decarboxylate, you're not going to get high, per se. Everybody says, well, man, I don't want to get high. It's like introduce your mom to juicing. Introduce your friends to juicing, and you won't get high. But don't do it the wrong way. If you introduce them to juicing and say, hey, man, juice your vegetative plants, well, you're getting omega-3, 6, and 9, and you're getting some good plant nutrients, but you're not getting cannabinoids in the traditional sense. That's what this show's about. You know, it's really about talking about just basic. I'm getting ready to go for my walk, so this is a basic morning for me. But how to take your cannabinoids, take a couple apples, a couple oranges, and ginger and garlic, and turn it actually into your breakfast. And get all of your phytocannabinoids, which of course once I eat those phytocannabinoids, right now in here, they're phytocannabinoids. When I eat them and my body processes them, they become endocannabinoids and they feed my endogenous system. And by virtue of feeding my endogenous system, I'm actually doing it in a way that doesn't get me high. Now again, you're going to hear a lot of people say juicing makes people itchy. People don't like juicing because it makes them itchy. You know, that happens when you start doing raw cannabis. It happens when you throw in a lot of stock that doesn't need to be there. You're throwing in a lot of fiber. It's very, very strong fiber. It's cannabis. It's makes rope to dope, right? So think about that. It makes solid rope. So it's very important to understand that you don't want all that fiber in there, or you're not going to like your shake. You're going to completely not like it, and that defeats the purpose. So we got 2 apples in there. I'm going to throw a couple oranges into it. And we're just going to get on with this and keep it going. I can't read any of the comments unless I shake this thing. Unless you guys make a comment, I guess. So there's 9 people on. Go ahead, make some comments. Please share this around to Facebook or to any other groups, because that's the only way we can really talk about it. And I don't think I can see comments unless people post a comment. And then I can see the general thread. Right now I can't really see anything. So, yeah. But anyway, if you do have that, especially if you're harvesting, like if you have a 10 like you see I got behind me, and you've got small plant material that you can use, you know, that's nice and trichomy. It's got lots of trichomes. See, now you can see I've been thinking of going on a cannabis diet. Kevin, do it. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. This is part of my daily routine. I work out, I train hard, I play harder. But I love having my tent right there, being able to grab some fresh phytocannabinoids, turn them into endocannabinoids, and still go about my day without being high as a motherfucker. I mean, so high that you're incapacitated. Normally, you can't eat, you know, cups and cups of cannabinoids. You know, I mean, it's these leaves, though they look green, they're covered in trichomes. You know, I think a better example would be if we do another video, a follow-up video to this one, showing us taking them right off the plant and putting them right into the blender. And that'll be within the next few days, because they're just finishing out now as I speak. It's just kind of the way it goes. So anyway, 1 orange, looking for the second orange. people out there looking to try going on to a cannabis, again, a juicing cannabis diet, need to look at from a medical standpoint. Nobody's going to juice 50 gram script. Yeah, that's another way too. You could also argue that you need more plant material for juicing, especially if, like I said, I'm showing you an example. I waited till my plants were at their very final stage. Then what I do is I take away anything that I don't want, you know, and I use that for my juicing. What I used to do years ago was throw it in the garbage, or I would save until after harvest and use it for baking, and we would end up baking shit. You know, that's the usual routine. But a lot of people don't stop to think about whether they can just juice and how to make that juice taste good. You know, that's all a trial and error thing, really. You learn to what works for you or what doesn't work for you relatively fast. You can put in whatever you want to put in, but a protein shake's only going to be as good as it's going to be. The main thing is getting those phytocannabinoids into you. You know, you got all your nutrients from your fruit, but then you also got all of your helps to plug it in, I guess. So I'll give it a second. Let it go on low here and just let it spin. Yo, what's up? What's up? You guys should be dabbing and getting along. What I'm doing is showing you guys how to make a quick hemp shake protein in the morning. Protein shake with hemp, with oranges. I put a piece of ginger in there, with some garlic, with some ginger. Most importantly, with a couple cups of cannabis plants or cannabis leaves that are covered with trichomes. Again, do not use leaves that were taken during veg. Now the problem with using leaves that were taken during veg is there's no trichomes. If there's no trichomes, you're only taking omega-3, 6, and 9. That's not what the objective is. You take your hand off there, please. Omega-3, 6, and 9. Oh, is it falling over? I see. Omega-3, 6, and 9 is going to be in there, and you can see how fibrous this is already when I look at this. You guys may not be able to see from the screen. I'm not sure how good it comes through on YouTube. At the end of the day, a simple hunting knife, you know, I love the definitions of weapons in this city, but anyway, additional basic hunting knife, you weigh it up, make your protein shake, get your fruit, and cut your leaves off the plant. And again, anybody that tells you to juice and use vegetative plants, don't expect to get healing powers. You'd be amazed at what you can get when you use trichomes, when you throw in trichome-ridden leaves. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Anybody that scopes to go, watch my YouTube channel. I've been doing this since 2007. I taught you guys how to scope your dope, look at your trichomes, make sure what's done right. That's how I know what's in here is truly cannabinoids. All 115 phytocannabinoids that we know exist in the cannabis plant are in this shake. And I'm going to enjoy them today, only I'm not going to get high because they haven't had a chance to decarboxylate. And again, no decarboxylation, you're not going to get high. I know everybody thinks you have to stick it in the oven to decarboxylate. By virtue of cutting the plant and hanging it to dry, you've already started the decarboxylation process. So that's important to note as well. So I'm going to fire this on here. Well, actually, now that I've kind of got into a soup form, it's got to be clearly driven up a little more. It's extremely fibery. I mean, a lot of fiber. So it's not the kind of stuff you want. For me, 1 scoop of protein shake powder, whatever your protein shake powder might be. Fire it on, let it go. Steel and A&W cup. From your local A&W. Make sure you always up on the road. I think you guys can hear me over the fire. Sorry, I can't see the comments. Somebody's going to have to comment again for me to be able to see those comments. Sorry, guys. But you can see here how fibrous this is now. When I say fibrous, I mean fiber. If you make juice, if you juice on a regular already, you know that too much fiber is too much fiber. I know, I said steal it from your local A&W. You got to go to your local A&W and be willing to kind of old school that shit, you know, and fucking just get out of there. But it is what it is. You know what? I love them that much that I just had to do it. So, hey, they got me eating plant-based diet, so there you go. Their plant-based burger led to me getting 6 of their mugs for my collection. So anyway, these are what they turn out to be. This still isn't done. I can see by the chunks in here that I can either chew my breakfast or I can let it blend a little bit longer. So, I let this go. Usually about 3 minutes is what they say. So, now this is just an India. If you're wondering what the blend is, I'm going to go to the container. Time consuming, but I'm making my plan here. Nobody wants to drink a steak that tastes like shit. Alright, so we got that done. Most people would probably look at this and say, ooh, what the hell is he about to drink? But yeah, that's juicing 101. And it goes with kale. I put spinach, kale, and a bunch of other stuff into these. So, but the best way to start the day off is to have a healthy, again, a healthy shake. But to be able to throw phytocannabinoids in there that have not been decarboxylated is important. So, yeah, there it is. In a chilled cup, there's one, second one. But there's one that... that is what it is. And aside from adding a little bit of ice, it tastes just sort of like apple juice. And you don't taste the cannabinoids. You don't taste the plant material. It does give a hint of you taste more of the garlic that I put in there right now. I probably put too much garlic. But this is, in essence, breakfast. So breakfast of champions, protein shakes, and cannabis leaves. Again, not cannabis leaves. I'll express this so many times. So many people have contacted me over the years and said, dude, I got all itchy. And I'm like, okay, you got all itchy from what? Well, I got all itchy. I've been just smashing this shit up. And I asked them, what are they smashing up? Well, I'm smashing up the plant. And I'm like, what do you mean the plant? Well, they're throwing the entire leaf, they're throwing the entire stalk. You put stalk in there, you're going to get so much fiber. You know, if you can swallow it, you're going to shit for a week, you know, and you don't need that fiber. That's not what we're after. We're after the phytocannabinoids, which are located inside the trichomes, which are located on top of the leaves, not inside the leaves, nowhere else. Eating the leaves is just giving you a little more greens, just like eating your kale, eating your spinach. I like to say it's a super green because it has high levels of omega-3, 6, and 9. But then when you throw in phytocannabinoids, well, now you're changing everything. When you throw in phytocannabinoids, it makes a complete difference. So what my hope is that you home growers that have a tent like that behind you, you know, you see in the background, for you home growers that are growing your four under Canada's legal federal guidelines, you know, you're allowed to grow your four. When you get to the bottom, leave a couple of lower branches. And a lot of growers will go in and say, oh man, these lower branches, they're not giving me shit. What do I do with these lower branches? In the old days, we'd hack them off, you know, or we would, well, as you get better with your growing, you learn not to have lower branches unless you intend to use them, like me, for juicing. At the beginning of this series, when I showed the tent originally and we germinated the seeds, well, they're now in full flower. They're finally finishing. I'm just waiting to find out what their flowering time is. You know, we're at 60 days right now. So it's going to be, is it 65 days? Is it 70 days? You know, it's going to be somewhere in that region. But they're not done yet. I was scoping them last night. So instead, I took off a bunch of leaves from the lower side and a bunch of stuff that it was trichome ridden and put that in the freezer for today's demonstration. So I hope everybody has a better understanding of at least why you get itchy is if you're putting a lot of stock and stuff in there. Has nothing to do with the plant itself. Yeah, lower branches, tiny buds. That's exactly what you use. In fact, I use bud as well. When I harvest, I take fresh bud and I put that right into my thing as well. Especially the small little popcorn buds that usually we use for baking. I throw them in here now, but again, to each their own. There's people that grow cannabis for money, and then there's people that want to just grow it for health. And if you're growing it to feed yourself healthy, then you're going to not worry about how you get it in your system. You're just going to worry about getting it into your system, making sure your endogenous system is being fed properly, you know, and in the right capacity. And the only way to do that is juicing and eating cannabis in some capacity. Smoking it alone, it's not going to get enough cannabinoids into the endogenous system. Same thing, edibles. Now, if it's edibles for your son, it's a good example. Can you stop seizures with juicing? You know, it's the same thing. Yes, you don't have to decarboxylate and make something psychoactive to make the phytocannabinoids become endocannabinoids. Nothing changes. Decarboxylation only triggers THC. It decarboxylates and activates THC and makes it, you know, psychoactive. That's what happens. We don't know about the chain reaction yet. We're still studying at the tip of the iceberg of what all phytocannabinoids will do. We talk CBG, CBN, CBD, THC. But what else? Why aren't we talking about the other 115 phytocannabinoids that we know exist in the plant? Why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we talking about how to take it without getting high? See, not allowing it to decarboxylate allows it to not go psychoactive. Therefore, you can actually eat back a whole bunch, feed your endogenous system with a whole bunch of cannabinoids and not be high. And the only reason I'm saying this is because there's a lot of people that go to work every day and they understand the endogenous system. They understand how cannabinoids work with the body. And once you understand how all that works, well, I can see my shadow in the background trick me out. Once you understand how all that works, you know, and no, you don't decarb. No, you don't decarb. That's the purpose of juicing. This is what I'm trying to say. Through juicing, it doesn't get you high. If you decarb it, you're just going to get high. You know, and if your intent is to get high, then why would you bother juicing? Hemp oil, a lot of the time, is done the same way. Unfortunately, they don't juice. The only way you can do this is if you use raw plant material. Fresh off the plant material. Not dried. Once it's dried, it's decarboxylated. You don't have to put it in the oven to make it decarboxylate. You only have to dry it. The whole process of decarboxylation starts the minute you cut that plant and it starts to fucking dry. So, you know, look up decarboxylation, understand it better. Blowing off the atom so that it makes it stronger in your edibles, that's the reason you put it in the oven. But is it necessary? It's the same reason we use combustion. We smoke cannabis. We dab cannabis. There's always a hot element, isn't there? Always a hot element to make it psychoactive because it blows off the atom. It's the same thing, reason we put it in the oven and we decarb our weed before we make edibles. Unless I want to go to my mom, my grandma, maybe my sister, maybe my brother who are normies, work for a living, live a normal life, getting old, dealing with old age complications, don't want to touch that devil's weed, even though we legalize. Nobody wants to touch it. It's those people you should be going and saying, hey, here's an introduction to cannabis that won't make you high. Let them feel how their muscles feel when they get a good dose of cannabinoids and they feel that relaxation. They don't get high, but they're going to get the benefits of those cannabinoids. And I can't fully explain how all that works, just like people can't explain why CBD makes you feel like you're high when you take that in high concentrations. You actually feel like you're high, but really you're medicated. What it is, you're being alleviated of your symptoms. Just like right now, I'm able to drink this back and I'm going to be feeling better. Some of my back pain is going to go away. I'm going to be alleviated from my symptoms, but I'm not going to be high per se. I'm going to be completely clear-headed, but getting the same benefits by feeding my endogenous system that I would if I fed it with the psychoactive version of cannabis. Whether it's psychoactive, whether it's not, the phytocannabinoids are still there, and by virtue of ingesting them, they turn into endocannabinoids. regardless of whether they were decarboxylated or not. On that note, this is Jason Wilcox signing out from a very trippy show because I've never actually done one off my phone before. So this is kind of different for me, but it was fun, and I hope you guys had a good time watching it. And remember, if you have any questions, post them up, and make sure you share this information, especially those that are new to cannabis and they're afraid to try it. I'm an advocate of trying to get people on cannabis. Use cannabis. Get away from pharmaceuticals. Use cannabis. Save your life. Better your quality of life. You can't do that unless you follow all the steps that are involved with it. I'm just trying to show people how to optimize a tent. You know, if you have a tent and you're able to grow your four, you know, grow your four and make sure that you have a way to optimize it. If you're already doing protein shakes and you're like, fuck, I'm already juicing, I can just add that to my juicing. Well, yeah, you can. Even better, you don't get high, so you don't have to worry about going to work high. Or grandma doesn't have to worry about feeling high. Maybe grandma wants to feel high and you want to decarboxylate it. That's why I love cannabis. We have so many variations and so many ways that we can take it. But on that note, there's not much more I can say about juicing. There's really not. It's for you guys to get out there and try it for yourselves and decide on whether it works for you medically and whether it's worth throwing your buds and your leaf material that you would normally bake with and decarboxylate through baking, you know, you would normally bake with and make edibles. It's the exact same trichomes, only not getting you high. On that note, this is Jason Wilcox wishing everybody a blessed up, beautiful, beautiful day. Stay lit, stay excited, and remember, don't punch down. Always punch up. And always speak truth to power. See you in the next show. How do I end this thing now?
I thought that was good shit.
I don't even know how to end this shit. Rotate device. I am rotating the device. Man, oh man. Alright. I'll rotate my device. Oh, it says it's locked. No, it's not. Alright, how do I end this then? Thanks for tuning in, Joanne. I appreciate it. I wish I could figure out how to turn this thing off now. Then I'd be doing just fine. I just wanted to show people an example of just how easy it is to juice their cannabis, but it's an acquired taste, I can assure you of that. Now, how do I end this thing? Oh, I see. Maybe here? Yeah. Okay, so wishing everybody a blessed up day. And again, get your phytocannabinoids into you in any way possible, whether that's to get high, per se, medicated, or if it's simply just to you know, get it into your system. Like I said, to me, it's more important about feeding the endogenous system than it is anything else, especially in lieu of the recent research that suggests it just might stop cancer. There's a lot to be said in that. GW Pharmaceuticals isn't coming out with 4 new cannabis drugs for no reason. Again, on that note, I keep saying on that note, this is Jason Wilcox signing out, wishing everybody a blessed up day. Get outside, enjoy the sun if you're out here in BC and downtown Vancouver area. It's sunny, it's nice. Get out, enjoy the sunshine, stay lit. And remember, as I said, always punch up, never punch down. You know, punching down, you're just kicking people that are already on the ground. Cheers.